Side by Side was a documentary that started probably the end, like summer, fall of 2010. And we were working with, I was working with the director Chris Keanu on a film called Henry's Crime. And we were doing the post there at Technicolor, New York. And there's a gentleman there named Charlie Hertzfeld, who has been to this festival many times and loves this festival and everyone involved. And in conversations, once the idea of doing this documentary, this kind of investigation of, evolution, revolution of photochemical and digital and, what became known as the art and science and impact of digital cinema side by side. In speaking about what should we do, Charlie Hertzfeld said you should go to Camerimage in Poland. And we went, okay. And we looked into it, and we were actually having lunch at one point, myself, Chris, the director, Justin Slaza, the producer, Chris Cassidy, the cinematographer, and we were sitting there. We were thinking about, well, how should we do this document? What should we? And I was like, well, why don't we go to Camerimage? It's a film festival. It's cinematographers, and so we asked Charlie to get in contact, and everyone was like, yes, let's go to Poland. Let's go to Camerimage. And the feedback that we got was, yeah, that it would be great, come on over. And so I was filming in London, and I joined the film crew who was here a day before. And basically, working with Marek and Kajik, we had the opportunity to come and meet with cinematographers and other people involved in movie making, storytelling. And it was really the foundation of what became the documentary. I think without coming here, we would not have made the film that we made. And beyond just, it wouldn't have been there, but just the direction that we got, the cinematographers, what we learned here, and the support of the festival and everyone involved really gave the direction to the documentary. And then to be back here 2 years later for the 20th anniversary, and to have not only participated, with Side by Side, to be a part of the festival, but to open for the festival is, I know for myself and everyone involved on the documentary, an honor. We worked on it, I would say, almost 18 months. Certainly, pretty much, well, maybe 14 months. Looking at that. And one of the things that came out actually about when we came out of in 2010, when we came out of working here, we had spoken to so many people that when we went out into the world, people were like, oh yeah, we heard about you guys. You guys were at Camerimage, right? And it was like, yes. And it kind of gave us some street cred that, that we had been here, which was cool. Yeah, I mean, it's to be back and again to be showing the doc here and to have a kind of closure, to kind of end where you started in a way. Starting the documentary, I definitely came from the film side. I have a strong nostalgia and experience. My life is, so much of my career has been in film so far. I mean, I've done, one, digital film, so 2 now actually, but 3 actually. I've done 3 now. So I probably was more from the film side, and the director, Chris, was probably the digital side. That's not to say that he didn't respect the film side or anything. But doing the documentary, I definitely came to learn a lot and appreciate and come to the place, you know, where it really is tools and the storytelling. But I do lament and hope that that people will still get to work with film, and that we'll get to watch films on film. That's really my, coming out of it, just my greatest fear for it all. The digitization and the of stories is definitely, really the impact is one in distribution, exhibition, so how we watch them. And I think definitely, you know, people use the term democratization, but, you know, definitely it's getting cheaper to make a higher quality, imagistically, a product. And that's not only just image acquisition, but special effects, editing, and all other aspects of a movie. People talk about the loss of quality, the loss of aesthetics, that they're being, you know, more bad and less good, to quote Lorenzo de Bonaventura, the producer, from that he makes a quote like that in Side by Side. He might be right. But so what? In the sense of, and I don't mean that against classical film, whatever that is, you know, but, you know, I think, you know, people, that doesn't mean that there won't be anything any good, and I think there will be artists who have appreciations for the past or learn from the past, and to use in the present, you know. But if you don't do that, then I don't think, but you're still telling a story that entertains or shares or teaches, I think that's good as well. But yeah, there's going to be a lot more content. But I don't think it's the end of the good, or end of the great, or end of the important, or end of the past. Yeah, but maybe one of those cool courses in school, as opposed to the ones that aren't. Yeah, I mean, we hoped to entertain, and we hoped to share, and we hoped, yeah, I mean, I think if you like movies, it's a kind of look behind the scenes. And I think if you're involved in films, it's fun to listen to people who are in the business talking about it, you know, hearing Soderbergh or Fincher, you know, they're colorful characters as well as great artists. Well, it's not for me, it's just that he doesn't feel like it's ready. And I think he's really reacting to people being put in a situation where maybe they don't want to be in, which is they're having to use digital, which isn't to the standard of film. I just finished directing a film. I haven't finished the film, but in terms of filming it, I did it on digital, so which was great. And so for me, I would just hope to be happy in the choice that I get to make. I knew the forest a little bit better. You know, the forest of digital, and, you know, it wasn't so other to me. You know, I had been around it and thinking about it and sharing stories. You know, and I just come off of a digital film by the end of the experience before directing, so it definitely made it less other. You know, I kind of knew more about what I was getting into and what to look for and how to use it, and so that was good. Oh, I think it's fantastic. I mean, I think, and I wouldn't limit this festival to that. I mean, I really appreciate that there's a focus to it. and that focus of cinematography. I love that, and I think it's great that, you know, I've met a couple of cinematographers in my day, and they're, you know, as a species, I'm glad that there's a place for them in that sense, and for us to as an audience and as people, you know, I think the festival reaches out to students and to, you know, supports filmmakers, and I think it's great that there's a place that has such an advocacy and support and sharing. The love and passion of telling a story, making movies, and dealing with the image, and how to work with flesh and blood to capture whatever you're trying to capture. So I think it's great. Yeah, I think that there's that transmission to create the collective, to create something that can touch and change our lives, or help us on a bad day, or have a place to go to see, to travel, you know, in a way, you know, to see other parts of the world, and it's extraordinary.